And when I was in Switzerland with her, she had a nice little cabin on the side of the hill, and then there a big mansion on the top. And I knew her heart then, you know, the need to have that alone state, the need, the succor of the aloneness of all life. That's where God is, and the aloneness of all things. That alone exists, and only you can enter that realm. Can't take anybody with you. So you have to find a place, Chris, where you can go, and you can do it at the house. You don't have to take off, but you have to spend time totally alone with yourself. The trouble is it's a self-perpetuating ecstasy, and sometimes you can get lost for a long time in terms of society. I used to look from the woods out into the civilization and just walk back in because I couldn't deal with the humans. Plants, animals, totally different. They don't have those blocks and attitudes and things like that. They are now in the present, you know. So you have to do what you can, you know. Work for a meditation center if you want, work for people if you want, and do that sort of thing. You can do that. Some people wouldn't understand that level. I do. Look at Siddhartha. He had to break away. He sat under a tree for how many years and finally realized, whoa, you know, I can sit here contemplating all this time, but I'm the focus. I'm the activity. I'm the consciousness. And so he got up and went forth. And that's the thing. Sometimes you need that time to get to that place. And it's tough in our society because we don't definitely understand that in religious thought, even though Jesus was always a loner and always went off and fasted, and so did all the spiritual giants. Moses, all these people went off to the mountain, if you will, and spent time alone, tapping into the allness of all life. Absolutely. I'm sure Mohammed did too. All beings that understand God understood God in the moment and in the alone state. Not the loneliness, the alone state, where only that exists. And so you'll have to do whatever you have to do, Chris. You don't have to do that, but you certainly have to spend time alone. Everybody should spend time alone. Have your own room, have your own bedroom, have whatever, but have your place where it's totally just you and nothing else. No TV, no computer, sorry for the YouTube, but none of that, where you alone exists and you can enjoy that. And that's where you have to work on stop thinking. Enjoy the ecstasy of the moment. There's no movement, there's no activity, it is just the now. And you'll be okay, my friend, whatever road takes you. But you don't have to. You can do it within society if you find that balance and find that inner core to where it doesn't matter what goes on outside of you, you are always home. And you don't have a need to be in any particular location because there truly is no place you can go to be away from yourself. That's why yourself is the only key. You actually, all of you, are the golden key. Just like Jesus and all the spiritual giants said, you're the golden key. Nothing else is. There's no path you can walk down. There's no spaceship you can take because you're still in the physical realm. You have to go to that place, which is in the now. You know, there's an old saying in meditation, you got to go within to get out. But irregardless, it's all in the now. And so, you know, I went through that. You needed to find a place, but in reality, when you learn it, I can talk to you and be totally in the now. Totally in God and absorb, and I try to be always. Even when I'm talking to my clients, I don't need to go somewhere to put myself in that state. I try to be in a total meditative state constantly. I don't like to sit. Now I'll take time to sit down and be. No, learn to be constantly. That's where the real succor is. Hey Doc, this is a 132 nice, a pretty lemon color. I love that. Hey Doc, 2 months now on your program. Cool. My kidneys are not filtering. I don't know. You know, I mean, you see it. When they break loose, you'll see a lot of sediment in your urine. I don't know all the connecting links to why they don't, but keep working at it, sweetheart. You're going to do, you'll open them up. Just keep working. Lion Man, I love everything you said here, you know. It is our choice. But it's getting to it's getting to you, it's getting to the self. That's the key. So then you make your choices, or you let those choices become, or you let those choices work off to where you don't create anymore. Because really the ultimate buzz is to dwell in the eternal now and let creation move through you while you observe the drama that it unfolds. And then you don't create karma, and then you don't reincarnate, and then you're free. If not, it's a never-ending story of karma and reincarnation, in my opinion. Dr. Morse is truly, I love this family. Thank you. Soul One Singer. Yeah, appreciate the comment. I agree. I do too. I love all of you guys. Really good vibes here. Let me see, 777 here. Let me see, ready detox of caffeine, processed grains, breads. Yeah, getting rid of breads and stuff, you know. I mean, I didn't have it kill the fungus in you. I used parasitic formulas to kill the fungus in me, and I never really craved breads or anything like that. I didn't when I was all a fruitarian. I didn't have any of those cravings anymore. But when I used to fast, I craved once Reese's peanut cups so bad. The second day out on a water fast, I'm craving Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'm going, oh my God. Third day, I'm super craving Reese's peanut butter cups. Fourth day, I could rip open anything to get them, so I went to the 7-Eleven, bought a big pack of Reese's peanut butter cups, ate them all down, and kept on going on my fast. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know what it was, and I never liked them since. I don't know why. You know, sometimes they say when you detox, you'll pull these chemical residues out that of these different foods or these different things, and you crave them or they kick your butt. And you see that, of course, with heavy metals sometimes. I could tell you all kinds of stories. Tell you about the story someday that a Twinkie gave me Nirvana. That was funny. I don't know. I've had the masters play with me so much, I tell you, it's not even funny. Iridology, photos of my wife. Oh yeah, Indiana Banana. I've got this sitting here. I will put your eyes up here. Again, just time. If you want, I could do it on your appointment. We could, if you didn't mind sharing your appointment over phone, I'll show people how I do my phone consults. And this is Dano. Dano, I'm sorry. I mean, I put these things together to talk with you about. I've been noticing blood in the mucus that you've been coughing up, you know, and I did try to address that back on a couple of videos ago. I hope Chris has got those up, but you're always going to have this, you know, this is very acidic, and the mucous membranes secrete mucus against mostly, if you were going to say, acids and proteins, especially the proteins in dairy products, of course. And of course, these are acidic factors, and so this becomes, even though the mucus is more of a lipid-based fluid, you know, this is supposed to be protective, but in reality, once you keep a lot of this mucus and acids in tissue, your capillary walls get thin and you bleed easy. Remember, I was talking about a bleeding formula that we have for internal bleeding. I made that formula because a lot of people have internal bleeding, so I wanted something as a homeostatic to stop internal bleeding. Great formula, by the way, I think, and it really stops internal bleeding. At the same time, you know, you've got to get rid of this mucus. It's common to have blood coming out of the head, out of the sinuses, you know, same reason. I mean, acids are very serious. This is a very serious issue. I like the fun and play light and everything about it because it's, you know, it's important that people don't get freaked out. But you're in a very serious business. People are, you know, bodies get terminated real easy here on this plane like this. So you guys are, you know, Dan, I'll keep going, my friend. You'll do well. The herbs do rule. I appreciate that, Dan. You know, I love herbs. I mean, in every sense of the way. If it's a formula with herbs, try it. You know, I always seek the best formulas, and they are. There's some of these Chinese formulas you can't even get them. I mean, I was telling you about Jin Jiao for martial arts. I used to do a lot of martial arts, you know, and you get bruised up and it just takes it right out. I mean, incredible stuff. And just, God, some of these old herbalists, that's where the respect is for me, is the best of the best in those fields, and especially those herbalists, those of old that make some of the far out stuff. I mean, I'm just really I'm awed by that, because that's the only safe direction to go in, is botanicals. Isolates are a no-brainer, which is your vitamins and minerals and your amino acids and all that kind of focus. That's a non-curative focus, obviously. And then pharmaceuticals is totally a no-brainer. That is when the FDA decides not to be corrupt and turns its attention toward pharmaceuticals instead of using them as their business partner. The pharmaceutical companies can't run and hide far enough. Also love your take on how we stay and play on this planet. Thanks, Adele. Yeah, I appreciate that. You got to look at it that way, you know. You got to look at it as a fun thing, you know. So appreciate your comments, man. This is from Astral. Let's see. I've been doing a regimen for 2 days, dry fasting, and on the third day I drank 2 quarts of raw grape juice. Woohoo! Immediately after the grape juice, I get crazy diarrhea. Yeah, well, you chugged quite a bit down there, and the brown around my pupils. Oh yeah, we talked about that where it faded away. That's amazing, man. Oh, I was going to talk about bilirubin and stuff, and glaucoma. I've already talked about glaucoma. I will. I've got a couple of things I'm going to address here. Now, this was real small and hard for me to read. Hernias, we talked about the parathyroid gland and cleaning the acids out. I tried to address this yesterday, and I hope it gets up there on hernias and aneurysms and prolapses and ballooning or diverticulums. Anything like that where you see the tissue expanding, weak and enlarging or prolapsing or ballooning or that sort of thing. You strengthen connective tissue. And of course, you guys know that it's the acid side of chemistry that destroys this in the first place. So that is good. This one question, and I've actually had this talked about this before, and that is the gaining weight on raw foods. And I think your perception was right here in the sense that you have to understand how acidic most people are, seriously so, to where you're damaging cells. And of course, this creates a genetic decline, especially the weaker the cell, the less they can take acidosis. You know, people don't consider cells as like people. You have strong people and you have weak people. You have strong people emotionally and you have weak emotional people. You have strong mental people and you have weak mental people. You know, we have all levels, and you have to understand cells are the same exact way. Animals are the same way. Plants are the same way. In my plants, I have plants that die for no reason. I look at them and go, what? I loved you. And then one right beside it just takes right off. I always know when I plant a plant, if it likes it where it's going to be. They tell me right off, I don't like this. I don't like where I'm at. Okay, I'll move you. So the communication's there. But still, I put a plant where I think it likes it and feels good. You get good vibes from it, and then something, it passes. So, it's just hard to say. You have all levels of strands, and you have to understand that at the cellular level. These children coming in is at an all-time low and can't take the toxicity that proteins and dairy products and neurotoxins afford us. The older people could, but not any longer. We have escalated this at a pace where this comment about 250 years of meat eating, in the last 100 years, we've escalated the level of cell decay and decline to I would say, what we did in 250,000 years to a cell, we multiplied that 100 times in just 100 in terms of the decay of a cell. It's not even good. I mean, we have serious problems here. That's why you guys are going to be the healers of the future. You're understanding all this, and that you have to understand this to come about that. Hospitals should certainly be detox centers. Yeah, absolutely, Professor. Absolutely. I mean, I've said this for years. What good is a hospital?